Joining us on Gordon Bennett TV, Bert Padell, we've got Noah Foden, and we've got Brenda Calishaw. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Bert, tell us where are we? Why are we in this situation right now?
Regan, I'm in the process actually on a weather hold right now, waiting to fly with David Hempelman Adams and Frederick Polson on a transatlantic flight. The plan was to be launching earlier in September with the hopes of getting back in time to be flying in the Gordon Bennett. As we move closer to the time frame of the Gordon Bennett, it's pretty obvious that I would be hard pressed to get back in time. So we've come up with another plan.
Hurricane Lee has been the problem, right?
I'm sorry.
I think it's Hurricane Lee.
Oh, currently, yes. We've got the hurricane coming up the coast currently, and another tropical storm forming. So the Atlantic needs to settle out a little bit before we take off.
And Noah, I was going to start with you. I flipped to Bert. I don't know why I did that. But Noah, yes, so you had a decision to make as a team, and you put out the email a few days ago. Just tell me about the process, how you've got to where you are.
Well, it's been a very busy 6 months, as Bert will tell you. We've been working together on this project since February to get all of the systems lined up for the Atlantic project, and so the focus has really been on that. And thinking about the Gordon Bennett has really been on the back burner. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that I just started thinking, my gosh, this is a month away. And what are we going to do? And how much time do we have before, Bert can fly the Atlantic, land in Europe, get some rest, get the stuff we need shipped back, and, make the connections to get to Albuquerque, and started to think, my gosh, this is going to be tight. And is it even possible? So we had a chat and talked about what we could do. And Bert graciously said, maybe you should find another co-pilot. So I made a call to Brenda. She was my first choice, given her, experience in gas ballooning that she's gathered together very quickly. And she's actually got quite a few flights, even more than I do, in less time, which is impressive. And so we had a little chat and decided to team up.
All right, well, let me try it out for the first time as a commentator. Ladies and gentlemen, Team USA-1, Noah Foden, Brenda Calishaw. Here we are. So, Brenda, welcome.
Thank you.
And you have been wanting to be on part of this for quite a while now. We've been speaking for many years. You've almost made it to the Gordon Bennett a couple of times. Certain situations have made it not quite possible for you in the past.
Yeah, shipping has always been a huge problem. So this year, I'm really excited to see that all the European teams were able to use Glacier. That was a huge thing. That saved each one of those pilots and teams a lot of money for sure. That was very, very helpful. So definitely it made it more possible. That was the issue that we had the second year. The first year we tried, that's when COVID first came out. So yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited that it's going to be in America. I was planning on attending regardless of whether or not I got to fly, and actually was trying to put together a command center for the USA and reached out to all the United States teams to see if that might be something they were interested in. And yeah, I think it was right after that no one contacted me.
So is that going ahead, this USA-centric command center? Is that something you're actively still working on?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the French have been doing for quite a while, of course. There's been some German cooperation with those teams. I mean, it's when I go to the command centers and I see the work and the shifts and the changing over of the teams and the projections on the wall, it's like a space launch.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we're hoping to emulate, basically.
Yeah, good. And so where will that be located? Obviously in Albuquerque, I imagine, or maybe not.
Yeah, I think, well, it kind of depends. Depends on who all we're able to get on the command center and, where they're physically located, if they're going to be in Albuquerque or not. So it could be that they're scattered about, but hopefully we'll have one person at least in Albuquerque.
And let's give a shout out to Brian Duncan as well for the equipment.
Absolutely, yeah. Without Brian, this couldn't happen. So many thanks to Brian for his generosity in letting me fly in his balloon. That's very, very kind.
Noah and Brenda, I want to know what happens now with a change of team. Is there much needs to be done behind the scenes between you guys before the event?
Well, we've been coordinating just about every day since we've initially spoken, and going through equipment lists and going through things we need. Thankfully, Brenda's balloon is very well equipped, and there's very little that is needed. But there's a few things that maybe we would borrow from our system, and so we're just kind of coordinating that. But generally, it's pretty turnkey, which is very nice. More the coordination more is right now focused on setting up the team and how we're going to execute the flight. That sort of thing, how we're going to share responsibilities, those sorts of things.
So, Bert, any words of advice for Brenda with flying with Noah?
I think that they'll make a great team. I think I have a lot of respect for Brenda. Her enthusiasm is what I respect the most, that she has for gas ballooning. I know exactly how she's probably feeling as far as flying in the Gordon Bennett for the first time. And I think she and Noah will do a great job together.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. And all of you, any advice for me? My first time in Albuquerque.
We're thrilled to have you.
I'm really excited. Really excited.
I don't know about advice. I don't know if there's any advice that's needed, but we're thrilled to have you.
No, take it easy. Take it easy the first few days on the green chilies.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be my advice.
Okay, well, I'll make a note of that. The green chilies. I mean, I like spicy food. I really do like spicy food. And Bert, for your progression now with the transatlantic challenge or with this hydrogen balloon, is there anything you can tell us about where you're at with it right now? Any more information?
Everything's up in Maine. The equipment is 100% ready to go. The hydrogen is on site, and the equipment is stored right around the corner from where the hydrogen is. We have a beautiful launch field. We have a tremendous amount of support from all of the people in Presque Isle, Maine. So we're 100% ready to go. We spent 2 weeks up in Maine, getting all of the equipment ready, going through all the comms testing, and the equipment checklist and so forth. We were very fortunate to have a shop to be able to hang all of the equipment so that when the inflation begins, it's going to go very smooth. So this project is a project I've been actively working on, my wife and I, my wife Joni and I, for the past 7 months. And now we're at a point where it's completely out of my control. It's really down to the weather at this point. Everything else is ready, and we'll get the weather. I'm very confident with that. I think it will be a little later this month, but I'm very confident we'll get the weather, and this flight will succeed.
Well, blue skies, my friend. I wish you all the very best. That's my 10 minutes are up. Producer Mark said try and keep it to 10 minutes. I could speak to you all individually for days. So 10 minutes is not enough. We'll have to catch up in Albuquerque properly. And Bert, good luck with your flight. And Brenda, I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm really looking forward to it. And,
Me too.
Thank you very much for your early morning time, guys. See you in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Bye.